Good morning, everyone. We are the group 5 reporters. Our topic is all about socio-emotional development. So, what is socio-emotional development? So, socio-emotional development is very crucial in the early years of life. Kanaang mo nagi silbi kanaang mahalagas tong kaugalingon ba importante kaayo sa ato ang kinabuhi. Ikataw na lang gani nato wala importante silbi ato na siyang kanaang gidada. So, let us view the socio-emotional development of the child and the stages of life. So, first is muna siya ang mga stages atong kinabuhi, infancy and toddlerhood. So, in these stages of life, maka-express na siya og mga different basic emotion, makakuan na siya og mga emotion nga mga kanang sayon-sayon pa, dili mo diretso sa mga lisod nga emotion, sa mga sayon pa maki-interact na siya sa mga children, sa mga adult in a positive interaction, makigduwa-duwa na siya. So very ako ra maging gihatag ang mga ma-express mga mabuhat sa stages atong kinabuhi, ang mabuhat sa infancy and toddlerhood. So second is preschoolers. The child express basic emotion gihapon nga ma-regulate ang feelings and emotion. Dayon kuan na siya sa iyang makig-talk na siya sa iyang mga friends about sa parts of the body na unsa na siya, unsay function ana niya. Mo na ang mabuhat sa preschoolers. So let's proceed. Number 3, primary scholar. So ang child is experience na siya school experience become priority. O kung sa imuhang ma-adapt sa school, imuha na sang ma-adapt po sa imong kaugalingon. Maka-gain siya og self-control, makontrol na niya iyang kaugalingon sa mga na siya kontrolado na niya iyang mga emosyon, iyang mga expression, inana, maka-increase ang iyang awareness of other needs and desire. So, mao na siya ang makuan sa primary scholar. So, number 4 is intermediate scholar. So, ang child is matake na siya sa lain-lain nga mga perspective sa kinabuhi. Maka-distinguish na siya himself from others. Mga ma-distinguish na niya og unsay lain sa kanang kalainan gani siyang kaugalingon kumpara sa laing tao. So, develops emotion and intelligence, ma-develop na niya. Number 5. So, in these stages of life, adolescence, the child develop human emotion that can arouse or slow down challenges of life. Mao na siya makuha na siya og positive emotion o negatibong emotion. So very sabotable naman jud kay no. Muna ang buhat in adolescence. So anhin na ta sa role of caregivers in a socio-emotional development. Not also a caregivers but also to teacher, parents, labi kanigid ang makuan ang sa parents kaning ilahang mga anak. I-comfort nila ilahang anak, dili nila kana ang murag ibaliwala ra gani. So mao man ay maka cause of depression sa mga bata. I-comfort mo og na siya problema, kanang smile mo nga di ka magpakita og mga isog kay gnaw, dapat imong smile bahalag kapila pa na nausamod ang imong problema din ha. Di mo ikuan ang bata ba. So imuha siyang di nimo pugnan og kana ang pag-interaction sa mga bata, dapat imo siyang i-involve sa mga teamwork, inana imo siyang paduwaon ba, imo siyang pa-intrahon sa mga teamwork nga naay involved of social interaction. Dayon imo siyang basa-basahan og mga storybooks nga ma-deals about sa friendship ba, about sa mga friendship inana mo na importante sa imuha mga story nga makagain sila og kuan ba inspiration inana. Second, implication to the child care education and parenting. So, mag-i-encourage nimo ang children to talk about feelings without doing it forcefully. Kana ang imuha siyang kana ang kuanon encourage nimo, dili nimo kana ang kanang usay na ipangan ana kanang imuhang pasagdaan, dapat naagi kay encourage sa mga bata. Kanang imuha siyang namagitay kana ang bakante nga oras imong tagaan gahinan ginimo og oras nga makig-talk sa iyang feelings sa pero di pod in a violence way pod kanang imuha po guro yon dali kay ato nang istorya usa imuhang nakuan sa imuhang ugalingon diha dili pod encourage nimo siya inana ba so model healthy relationship modelo ka sa kanaang kuan nga malusog matibay nga relasyon, promote positive changes, demonstrate calmness and stay in control of one's own feelings.
Okay, the next one is development of self and social understanding. Psychoanalytic theory by Sigmund Freud. So, first, ato sa ning ila-ilahon o si kinsa ba ni si Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud was an Austrian neurologist and the founder of psychoanalysis, a clinical method for evaluating and treating pathologies explained as originating in conflict in the psyche through dialogue between a patient and a psychoanalyst. So according to Sigmund Freud, 1856-1939, obtained in his psychoanalytic theory has that what a child experiences in early years of life have somehow influenced his personality in adulthood. So, para sa iyaha, para kay Sigmund Freud, is ang na-feel daw sa usa ka bata sa sayo ng mga tuig sa iyahang kinabuhi, which is in a one way, naka-influence sa iyahang personalidad sa pagka-mature or sa iyahang pagkahantong. Then, according to Owens, 2006, there are 5 distinct and sequential stages of Freud's development theory, where needs are to be met in each stage. Each stage has specific erogenous zones. So, unsa man yung erogenous zones? Erogenous zones, it is the sensitive areas of the human body which provide pleasure and satisfaction when needs are met, otherwise fixation occurs. So fixation occurs, muna siya ang concept sa human psychology when fixation occurs. So mao ni ang table ni Freud. Table 1, stages of psychoanalytic theory. First is oral birth to 18 months old. Behavior niya is child jumps, mouths, bites everything in sight. Oral pleasure through rooting and sucking. Fixation, child went from bottle to early or too late. Developmental outcome of personality is as adult will be independent, gullible, ready to swallow anything, oral aggressive, excessive eating, drinking, kissing, and smoking. Behaviors, oral receptive, oral personality, if properly developed, will develop sense of trust and comfort. Erogenous zones, niya is mouth. Then the third one is phallic, 3 to 6 years old. So, ang behavior niya is awareness of sexual organs, interested in what makes boys and girls different. Then ang fixation niya is child fails to identify with the same sex, parents, Oedipal and electoral complexes. Then ang development outcome personality niya is sexual deviances, weak or confused sexual identity. Then ang erogenous zones niya is genitals. Then the fourth one is latency, 6 years old to puberty. So ang behavior niya is a period of suspended or repressed sexual activity and urge energies shift to physical and intellectual academic activities. So, ang fixation ani niya is no psychosexual fixation occurs. The next, boys, ang ihang ihang developmental outcome personalities is boys or girls peer group, heterogeneous relationships, sexual identity, develop social and communication skills, self-confidence and defense mechanisms. Iyang sexual energy is directed to physical and intellectual pursuits and social life. Then the fifth one is genital puberty onwards. Sexual interest once again awaken opposite sex. Then, iyang fixation is role confusion. Iyang developmental outcome personality is if development has been successful during the early stages, it leads to marriage, mature sexuality, and the birth and rearing of children. Develop will balance life, warm, and caring personality. Then ang ihang erogenous zones niya is finding a lifetime partner, vocation, profession, career path, mga na siya. Muna ang table 1 ni Freud. So, proceed ta sa table 2 ni Freud, which is ang components of personality. So, components of personality and their characteristics. So, babyhood instincts. Characteristics niya is this is what we're born with. Second, very essential for the gratification of the baby's needs. Third, pleasure principle, immediate gratification or satisfaction of one's own needs. The fourth one is not oriented towards considering reality nor the needs of others. I love myself. I, me, my concept. The second one is ego, toddlerhood, preschooler, reality. Real characteristics, reality principle, awareness of the needs of others, conscious of surroundings and environment, practical application and considers the best response to situations or decision making, you, they, we, concept. The third one is superego, end of Palek stage in onward morality. Characteristics is moral aspect developed from experiences as the child grows and develops likened to conscience and considers or influence what is considered to be right or wrong. You, they, we is right and wrong concept. So, let's proceed the table 3 of Freud, the topographic model of the human mind. So, Freud's structure of human mind and their characteristics also. First one is conscious. Characteristic is awareness of everything, comprises a very small part of personality. The second one is preconscious, subconscious, and the characteristics is comprised of information readily available when needed, but not actively available in the conscious mind. The third one is unconscious. Characteristics largely comprise the human thoughts, experiences, beliefs, feelings, impulses, experience of extreme anxiety, pain, and strong emotions. Okay, let's proceed to Erik Erikson, a psychosocial theory. Erik Homburger Erikson was a German-American developmental psychoanalyst known for his theory on psychological development of human beings. He coined the phrase identity crisis. So, Erik Erikson, 1902 to 1994, was a developmental stage theorist who took Freud's controversial theory of psychosexual development of Freud and modified it as a psychosocial theory. Erikson emphasized that the ego makes positive contributions to development by mastering attitudes, ideas, and skills at each stage of development. So, mahisad kay Erik Erikson, kay Freud is, ang ego niya is, emphasize ang ego ni Freud is kuan man, reality principle. Yung reality principle, awareness of needs of others, conscious of surroundings and environment, practical application, and considers the best response to situations decision making. So mo na siya kay Freud, but Erikson emphasized that the ego kuno dapat makes positive contribution to development by mastering attitudes, ideas, skills at each stage of development. Mo na siya kay Erikson. And mo na siya ang figure 1, stages of psychosocial development by Erikson. So, kita na to dira ang mo na siya ang mga stages. So, the first one is infancy. Nadiri ang trust versus mistrust. The second one is early childhood. Autonomy versus shame and doubt. The third one, preschool. Nadiri ang initiative versus guilt. The fourth one is school age. Nadiri ang industry versus inferiority. The fifth one is adolescence. Nadiri ang identity versus role confusion. Then, young adulthood. Nadiri ang intimacy versus isolation. Ang middle adulthood. Nadiri ang generativity versus stagnation. Then the last one is maturity. So, nadiri ang ego, integrity versus despair. So, next, table 4. The stages of psychosocial development. So, nadiri ang stage period, psychosocial, relationship, experiences, positive, negative of life, crisis with decisions, choices, resolution. So, nadiri 0 to 18 months, trust versus mistrust. So, maternal person, to get, to give in return, reliance on caregiver, development of trust in the environment, fear, anxiety, and suspicion, lack of care, both physical and psychological by caretaker, leads to mistrust in the environment. Mo na siya ang stages nga 0 to 18 months. While 18 months to 3 years, autonomy versus shame and doubt. Paternal person tawag na. So, choices ni mo, ang dalawang nakadresa, dalawang na nadala ang to hold on, to let go. Then, realize ni mo imong sense of self-worth, assertion of choice, and will environment encourages independence, leading to sense of pride. Then, well, the third one is 3 to 6 years. Initiative versus guilt. So, family. So, nandra to make like. Then, the ability to learn to initiate activities to enjoy achievement and competence. Then, the inability to control newly developed power. Realization of potential failure leads to fear of punishment and guilt. So, the fourth one is 6 to 12 years. Industry versus inferiority. So, neighbors and school. So, to make things to make together. So, alam nga nga stages no nga. Kuan, maghimot tayo sa tuang kuan. Gather ba, nana, magbanding sa imong family, sa imong barkada, or mga inana. Sa school, no, dahan kag amiga, tungod sa school, nana. Learning the value of work. Acquiring skills. So, dira na ka, makakat-on ka nga. I-value imong work, imuhang eskwela, hinana. Acquiring skills and tools of technology competence helps to order life and to make things work. Repeated frustration and failure led to feelings of inadequacy and inferiority that may affect their view of life. 12 to 18 years. Identity versus rule confusion. So, imuhang balingon, self. So, partners, identity versus rule confusion. So, peer group, P-E-E-R, di siya pair, peer group. So, to be oneself, to share being oneself. Experiments with various rules in developing mature individuality. Pressures and demands may lead to confusion about self. So next is 18 to 24 years. Intimacy versus isolation. Partners in friendship, sex, competition. So, dira na ka to lose and find oneself in another. Dira na ka mukumit ka sa sakataw. Commitment to others. Close heterosexual relationship and procreation. Withdrawal forms such as intimacy, isolation, self-absorption, and alienation from others. So the next one is 24 to 54 years. General relativity versus self-absorption. Partner. So, bilang ng partner nimo to make be, to take care of, muna. Then, the core and concern for the next generation. Widening interest in work and ideas. Self-indulgence and resulting in psychological improvement. Then the last one is 54 years to death. Integrity versus despair. So, hadlok sa kamatayon na. Then, mankind to be through, having been, to face not being, acceptance of one's life, realization of the inevitability of death, feeling of dignity and meaning of existence. Disappointment with one's life and desperate fear of death. Muna siya ang table ni Erik Erikson.
Okay guys, so move na ta sa next topic, which is about Albert Bandura. So Albert Bandura's social learning theory suggests that observation and modeling play a primary role in how and why people learn. Bandura's theory goes beyond the perception of learning being the result of direct experience with the environment. So, meaning to say, obserbasyon o modelo nga adunay usa ka nagunang papel sa unsa nga paagi og ngano nga ang mga tawo makakaton. So, social learning theory suggests that social behavior is learned by observing and imitating the behavior of others. Psychologist Albert Bandura developed the social learning theory open and new as an alternative to the earlier work of fellow psychologists known for his influence on behaviorism. So, meaning to say, ang teorya sa pagkat-on sa social nagsugyot nga ang social nga pamatas sa nakatunan pinaagi sa pag-obserbar o pagsunod sa pamatasan sa uban. Ang psychologist nga si Albert Bandura nagpalambo sa social nga teorya sa pagkat-on nga open and new isip alternatibo sa naunang buhat sa kaubang mga psikologo nga si B.F. Skinner nga nailhan sa iyang impluwensya sa behaviorism. So, mao na siya ang kuani Albert Bandura. So, next is si Abraham Maslow. So, he was an American psychologist who developed a hierarchy of needs to explain human motivation. His theory suggested that people have a number of basic needs that must be met before people move up the hierarchy to pursue more social, emotional, and self-actualizing needs. So, si Abraham Maslow is usa ni siya ka Amerikano nga psikologo nga kanang nagpalambo sa usa ka hierarchy sa mga panginahanglan aron ipasabot ang kanang kadasig sa mga tawo. Ang iyang teorya is nagsugyot nga ang mga tawo adunay daghang mga batakang panginahanglan nga kinahanglan matubag sa dili pa ang mga tawo musaka sa hierarchy aron mapadayon ang labi ka social, emotional o pag-aktual sa kaugalingon nga mga panginahanglan. So, he was also one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century. Among his many contributions to psychology were his advancements to the field of humanistic psychology and his development of the hierarchy of needs. So, usa sa day ni siya sa labing influential nga psychologist sa 28th nga siglo. Lakip sa iyang daghang contribution sa psikolohiya mao ang iyang pag-uswag sa hatad sa humanistic psychology ug ang iyang pag-uswag sa hierarchy sa mga panginahanglan. So, maura na siya guys.
ERG Theory by Alder Frey.
Alderfer's ERG theory of motivation builds on Maslow's hierarchy of needs and states that humans have three core types of need: existence, relatedness, and growth. These needs may be of different levels of priority for different individuals, and their relative importance for an individual may vary over time. In Maslow's hierarchy of needs, individuals need to have satisfied one level of needs before moving on to the next one. For example, they need to have satisfied their safety needs before being motivated by social belonging. Alderfer disagreed. In this model, individuals do not need to have satisfied their existence needs before being motivated by their relatedness need. In fact, Alderfer went further and said that different individuals potentially prioritize the needs in the earliest based on their life views. A standard example of this could the starving actor who's motivated by growth through their art, potentially at the expense of their existences. Alderfer also noted that how individuals perceive their progression in relation to each of the individual levels of need is important. If an individual feels they are making great progress at relatedness, they may be increasingly motivated by growth even though their relatedness need has not been fully satisfied. Similarly, if an individual feels frustrated with the progress they are making in relation to growth, they may be abandon it and rebundle the motivation and relation to relatedness. According to Alderfer's theory of motivation, the theory Kuno builds on Maslow's hierarchy of needs and states that humans have the three core types of need. So Maslow states nga ang mga tao kuno kay naay three core types of needs. Tulo ka kinahanglanan ang mga tao, which is the existences, relatedness, and growth. So these needs may be of different levels of priority for different individuals, and the relative importance for an individual may vary over time. So, ang kaning mga needs nga giingon ni Maslow kay they have their own priority, levels of priority, and also they have different individuals and importance. So, the first three core needs of human is existence. So, what are the meaning of the first core types of needs of humans? Let's find out. So, existence is a state of being alive or being real. Next is relativeness. It refers to the social nature of human beings and the connectedness with others. The last one is growth. Is the process of increasing in physical size. So, ug wala ta aning growth, wala jud tay paglambo. Theory of Needs by McClelland. In the early 1940s, Abraham Maslow created his theory of needs. This identified the basic needs that human beings have in order of their importance: sociological needs, safety needs, and the needs for belonging, self-esteem, and self-actualization. Later, David McClelland built on this work in this 1961 book, The Achieving Society. He identified three motivators that he believed will have a need for achievement, a need for affiliation, and a need for power. People will have different characteristics depending on their dominant motivator. According to McClelland, these motivators are learned, which is why this theory is sometimes called the learned needs theory. McClelland says that regardless of our gender, culture, or age, we'll have three motivating drivers, and one of these will be our dominant motivating driver. This dominant motivator is largely dependent on our culture and life experiences. In the early 1940s, Abraham Maslow created his theory of needs. This theory Identify the basic needs that human beings have in order kuno of their importance. Mga importante kuno sa mga tao, physiological needs, safety needs, and the needs for belonging, self-esteem, and self-actualization. Unya, si David McClelland built on this work in his 1961 book, The Achieving Society. Identify niya ang 3 kabuok motivators nga iyang gituhuan sa katong tanan. These are 3 achievements, which are the needs for achievement, a needs for affiliation, and a need for power. Ang mga tao sa kuno kay naay mga lain-lain nga characteristics depende na daw sa ilang dominant motivator. Then, according to McClelland, these motivators are learned, which is why his theory is sometimes called the learned needs theory. Sa giingon ni McClelland, kuno regardless of our gender, culture, or age, kuno tay tulo ka motivating drivers, and one of these will be our dominant motivating driver. This dominant motivator is largely dependent on our culture and life experiences.
McClelland's theory of needs. Achievements has a strong need to set and accomplish challenging goals. Second, takes calculated means to accomplish their goals. Third, likes to receive regular feedbacks on their progress and achievements. Fourth, other likes to work alone. Affiliation. First, wants to belonging to the group. Second, wants to be liked and will other go along with whatever the rest of the group wants to do. Third, factors collaboration over competition. Fourth, doesn't like high risk or uncertainty. Power. First, want to control and influence others. Second, likes to win arguments. Third, enjoy competition and winning. Fourth, enjoy status and recognition.